This is a 2004 Toyota Camry. Over the last 21 years and nearly 200,000 miles driven, she's taken quite a beating. Since I'd like to get another 21 years of use out of her, I take care of her. Today, we're going to refurbish the damage done to the front end of the car. This damage includes fogged headlights, hundreds of rock chips on the front bumper, clear coat on the paint that's just falling off, and one of the fog lights seems to be loose. Just down the street from me, there's another Camry that lives in the neighborhood. This is what their hood looks like. If you plan ahead, this type of damage is very easy to prevent. The day you buy the car, purchase one of these. This is a rock chip deflector. Nearly every rock that would have hit my hood hits this deflector and flies over the top of the car. And for all I know, hits the car in back of me. This is also a very convenient place to mount some deer whistles. These things really work. Here's what I'm going to show you in this video. We're going to replace the fogged out polycarbonate head cover lights, remove the bumper, then repaint it with clear coat, repair the loose fog light, and clean and inspect everything else that's in the front end of the car. Since we're going to be putting paint on, we don't want any wax on the vehicle. Stripping that wax is pretty easy. Instead of using your wax-safe automotive shampoo, just wash your car with Dawn detergent. You want to put special emphasis on scrubbing pretty hard any place where you plan on painting. This includes using a touch-up pen on the rest of the car. I also place great emphasis on having a clean engine. A clean engine makes it much easier to see something that's gone wrong, like an oil leak or something like that. So, I periodically degrease the engine with this stuff. It's biodegradable, so you can use it in your driveway. Simply cover everything on the engine. Then, hose it down. The added bonus you get is working on a clean engine is so much more enjoyable than a grease pit. Alright, let's remove the bumper. We start out by removing the wind dam that's mounted on the bottom of the car. There's quite a few bolts and a couple of plastic plugs, but it's pretty self-explanatory. While I was traveling, some of my plastic plugs fell out, so I wired this wind dam into place. When I reinstall it, I'll be able to replace those plastic plugs because I bought a kit. If you work on your own car, this kit is invaluable. Let's go to the top of the bumper and remove that mounting hardware up there. There will be 2 mounting bolts and 1 plastic clip. Remove both front tires so we can loosen the wheel well shroud. One of them's a plastic clip. The other is a 10mm bolt. Pull the shroud back, reach up inside, and remove this 10mm bolt. For clarity, this is the location as shown from the outside. Your bumper should now be ready to be removed. I guess I should mention in advance, disconnect the wiring harnesses from your fog lights before you pull this off. And there we have it, 1 removed Camry bumper, and 2 brand new headlight assemblies. Speaking of headlight assemblies, let's remove them off the car. This is very easy to do when the bumper's not installed. There's 2 friction fittings, where you have to overcome them just by pulling on the lens, and 2 mounting bolts, 10mm. For a detailed procedure on how to remove these without pulling the bumper, watch the last video I just posted. It's titled Changing Headlight Assembly on a 2004 Camry. Okay, before painting this bumper, we need to make sure it's really clean. I'm using 99% pure isopropyl alcohol here. Wipe down every place you intend to apply paint. This is the company that I ordered the paint and the clear coat from. I was pretty impressed the paint was still available after 21 years. I ordered the spray cans to redo the bumper with, and then paint stick as well as clear coat paint stick to touch up the rest of the car. Okay, at this point I need all professional painters to please look away from the video. The next step will make you cringe, and leave me comments. I know that you would normally sand off all the old paint before you apply new. I'm not entering my car into a car show. I simply want it to look good for daily driving. I'm taking a chapter out of the Boeing Company's handbook of paint. When you buy a $100 million aircraft from them, they say if the paint job looks good as you're viewing it from 10 feet away, Well, that's good enough for them. Here we go. To apply the spray paint, I start my arm moving. Depress the nozzle to get the spray paint to flow. Let off the nozzle to stop the spray paint, and then stop my arm. There's an even coat everywhere where I've sprayed. I applied 2 coats with the appropriate dry time in between each. We're going to apply the clear coat exactly the same way I did the spray paint. The can was big enough, I managed to get 3 coats of clear coat on this thing. This part was really hard for me, but wait 6 months before you wax it. This will give the paint time to fully cure. At least this is what every dealer on every new car I've ever bought has told me. Okay, you professional painters, you can start watching again. Since you would know better than a car dealer, what do you think about this 6-month wait? Is it necessary? Okay, let's talk fog lights. There's one screw that holds that fog light in. The other side is held in by that little tab on the right-hand side. My fog lights are a little bit hazy, so let's fix it. Every 6 months or so, I buff out the headlights and fog lights with this stuff. Unlike the headlights, I'm not going to replace the fog lights. This is because the fog lights are down low on the ground and don't get direct sunlight, which is what's causing the fogging. So you can't really tell when they're fogging up, and when they do, it's really not that bad. Save a little money anywhere you can. There you go, one clear lens. Now it's time to fix that loose fog light problem. You can see here the tab that holds this end of the light in. Well, on this light, that tab is broken. That probably happened one of the times I was buffing the fog light out. I must have pushed too hard. So I built and installed a new tab. Bend a small piece of aluminum. Cut a slot in the fog light where the old tab used to be and feed the aluminum through it. Drill a whole bunch of holes in this side, and then safety wire the thing into place. This is what it looks like when it's installed on the bumper. Speaking of installed, let's go ahead and do that. Feed it in from the front on your newly painted bumper. Go around back and tighten that screw. While the bumper is off, this is the perfect time to clean and inspect everything else in the front of the car. Particularly proud of my wheel well cleaning. Pretty sure the last time they were this clean was when it was sitting on the factory floor in Tennessee. I now see my next project. My air conditioning radiator seems to have taken a beating. I actually took this car into the shop to find out if I had enough charge on my air conditioning, because it's not working so well anymore. They said the charge was fine. I now see why it's not working so well. However, this will present me with a little problem. I'm sure the refrigerant in this system is no longer used. So fixing this might be a major issue. See, inspecting works. Before putting your bumper on, install your 2 new headlight covers. Snap the assembly into the 2 friction fittings. Then install the 2 mounting bolts. Now it's time to put the bumper on. I started off by installing the 3 attach points up on top. That'll hold it in place. Then you can go around to the sides, snap the bumper into that friction fitting, then install the mounting bolt. Jockey the wheel well shroud back into the proper place, then install the mounting bolt for it. Now that you have replacement parts, you can put a new plug into that wheel well as well. Oh, and the good news is, since you have replacement plugs, you don't have to safety wire your wind shroud in on the bottom of the car anymore. You can properly install it with your plastic plugs as well as the bolts. So, let's take a look at some before and after pictures. These are before. And these are after. I think I'm good to go for another 21 years. Thanks for watching.